Good morning and welcome to Shooting Gear Reviews, straight up guns and gear reviews. We have got a good one for you guys today. The AEA HP MAX right here in 357, 9mm, or otherwise 35 cal. If this gun doesn't just scream cool by the way it looks and the features that you can see just from looking at it right here, wait till you see how this guy shoots. Let's talk just a little bit about what you've got here with the HP SS MAX or the HP MAX. First of all, as you can see, we've got the folding stock. So truck gun, backpack gun, all the way. It's also adjustable there for length of pull, and it's really pretty solid folding action. I mean, this is well done. I am also a fan of the filling and gauge location here on the bottom rather than being out on the tank. It's got this very big cylinder here, holds a lot of air, and you're going to 4,500 psi on this guy. Fairly short barrel, not much to speak of as far as sound dampening, so this is a loud little beast right here. Definitely, when you pull the trigger on this guy, you know you shot something for sure. 8-shot mag in 357, bolt action. Safety located right there. Got a nice rubberized grip, comfortable trigger, and all in all, pretty lightweight package. So let's head on down, throw this on the scale. I'll take the scope off and we'll see what this HP MAX weighs just on its own. All right, here we are with the HP MAX on the scale. Let's see what this guy weighs. 5.5 pounds. That would have been my guess. I was guessing right around 5 pounds. So there you have it, 5.5. So let's do a couple shots here. There's actually nothing in the mag, but I just want to show you guys how the bolt operates, how the trigger is operating, and also the safety here, because the safety will not go on to safe unless it is cocked. So that's one way that you can tell if this rifle is cocked or not, is will the safety engage. The design of all of these AEA guns that I've tested so far is such that it doesn't actually allow for you to decock the rifle. So you're going to have to, if you want to have the rifle decocked, you're going to have to shoot out whatever you've got loaded in there, or if it's empty like it is now, you can go ahead, take the safety off, and shoot out just some air. So that bolt operates really smooth. It's tight. Feels really good as far as the operation and mechanics of it. Because we are putting out so much power with this guy, there is a little bit of an effort right there at that last bit to go ahead and get it cocked all the way. And actually, in order to remove the mag, you have to pull the bolt back all the way to get the mag to slide in and out. So it's helpful if you've got it braced against your shoulder like that. So let's take another closer look at how this trigger operates. I'm going to flip it around here so that you can see the trigger. There's virtually no first stage and a very crisp second stage. Not too much of a pull effort really on that. I'd say this was a really nice trigger, to be honest, especially considering that you don't necessarily want this to have a hair trigger when you're doing over 100 foot-pounds in 35 cal. You want to pull it when you mean it, that's for sure. So it's got just the right amount of resistance there. Show you one more time. Very short first stage, crisp second stage, really nice. I like the shape of the trigger. It's flat on the edges and has this texturing on it. It's very comfortable to use. So as far as the operation of the bolt and the trigger and that safety, see, it's not going to go on right now since the gun is not cocked. All of that is spot on, especially for the price point that these are at. To get a smooth bolt and a nice trigger like that, two very big pluses in my book. So now I know what everybody's waiting to see. You're waiting to see, of course, just how powerful this guy really is and what kind of accuracy it can put out. So without any further ado, let's head on down to the range and get that started. All right, so let's take a look at some Crony numbers. We are starting out at 4,500 PSI, shooting some 81 grain JSBs, and you can see that in an unregulated gun like this, you're going to get a couple of shots at that top of the fill that are really hot, but then it definitely starts to taper down after that, and you're just going to get a pretty much consistent drop in velocity overall from the top of the fill to the bottom of the fill. Alright, that's the end of the first 8 shots. I went ahead and reloaded the mag, but did not refill the gun, so these next 8 shots are going to be off basically the bottom of the fill. Alright, that's some pretty cool stuff. Pretty interesting to see what the results are over the Crony. Next, let's see what we're getting here at some 50-yard accuracy. I went ahead and topped the gun all the way back off to 4,500 PSI for this, and we're going to shoot 2 mags on that fill. Alright, so here's how those 50-yard groups turned out. You can see that these first couple shots here were off the top of the fill, and as usual, those first couple of shots are really hot, don't hit the mark, but after it calms down just a little bit from those two, we had 6 shots all go right there. So I mean, we had 4 of them through one hole, and all of that right there fits under an MOA. Super awesome 50-yard results. The next group I shot was on the same fill, so not quite as, small as that fitting under the MOA results we had from those second 6 shots, but you can see that to get 8 shots right there like that at 50 yards doing over 100 foot-pounds, that is still some very decent accuracy, and I'm going to say that really anything you're hunting at 50 yards with this is good and gone. Alright, something I've been loving to use lately is this guy right here, the Omega Trail Charger, especially with guns like this HP Max, because you've got to get it filled every time back up to 4,500 PSI. So when you're filling from a tank, what happens is your tank pressure can quickly deplete just slightly below 4,500 PSI, and you don't get a full fill. With something like this Omega Trail Charger, you can set the pressure to right at 4,500 PSI, and every time you crank that thing on, you're getting the full 4,500 PSI fill, and with this gun it takes less than 5 minutes to get it topped back off. So it's a pretty cool piece of kit to have when you have these high fill pressure guns. Alright, now let's go ahead and see what happens all the way out here at 100 yards. I wasn't really too sure what to even expect here, so I just kind of picked a holdover and a mark there on the cardboard to aim at, and I started shooting. Alright, so this is where it really starts to get interesting. You can see we've got now 2 shots virtually touching out there at 100 yards. This third shot, again, let's freeze frame it right there, zoom in. Look at that, 3 shots virtually touching now at 100 yards. Okay, let's see how this group starts to finish out here for us. I'm getting pretty excited here. All right. How's that for some 100-yard accuracy from a 35 cal, putting out that kind of power? Wow. I'm actually pretty impressed. I didn't think it was going to do this good. So when I say this good, let's explain what kind of took place here so that you understand what I'm saying, because this is good. This is like really good. For 100 yards, I mean, that thing's got a barrel on it like that. Anyways, check this out. This is the first shot. I believe that was the second shot, and then the rest all grouped right like that. Now, why did this happen? Well, I was right at the top of the fill. And if you want to go back and check out the crony footage that I did, you'll see that those first couple of shots right off the top of the fill, they are hot. They are like smoking hot. But as it tapers down just a little bit, it gets a little better consistency. And I think that just overall, you're getting a better, more stable shot. So, after the first two really hot shots, this next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 shots at 100 yards just clumped right there like that. I mean, I don't know what you're hunting with a 35 cal doing over 100 foot-pounds out at 100 yards, but I'm going to say you're probably able to put that shot just where you need it, if that's what you were to be doing. So there you have it. Bam. All right, well, I'm definitely impressed. I hope that you guys are too. I mean, for a gun this size with a barrel that length to be putting out power and accuracy like that, and included in a package that's so lightweight and so compactable with multi-shots, I mean, this is just about one of my top guns I'm going to be going to for hunting situations. I know I'm going to keep it in my truck and have it handy for those unexpected moments when I see a coyote or something like that around here, because this really has all the power and the accuracy that I need for something like that. And of course, with this compactability, small size just totally fits the bill. I'm stoked about this AEA HP Max, and I can definitely say with confidence that if you're looking for a gun with this feature set, this is definitely not one that's going to disappoint. Really something to be considered for sure. So that's it. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to Shooting Gear Reviews. I really appreciate that you spend your time with me here watching these videos. I put a lot of work into making them for you, and definitely want to get good information out there about cool air guns like this. So I thank you for trusting me to do that and for joining me here. Ran out of time for this one. I'm Ben. I'm outdoors having a whole lot of fun with my air guns. I hope that you are too, and I'll see you next time.